What's up everybody, and welcome back to Ducks and Download. So in today's video, let's stir up some controversy, because I'm here to straight up tell you all, I am so done seeing Order 66 and everything having to relate back to the Clone Wars. It's been done in some good ways, it's been done in some blatantly bad ways, and I feel like it's been done to the point where we can stop now. When Clone Wars first dropped, I don't know if you all remember, as I do, being 31, I was a perfect age to really wrap myself into Clone Wars when it dropped on Cartoon Network, and was already a huge fan of Star Wars by the time. But it seems a lot of you have forgotten how really mixed reviews it got in the very beginning. I mean, even the one before that, the hand-drawn Clone Wars series, which a lot of people love, again, on launch, honestly really wasn't that watched or well received. Like me and many others, Clone Wars wasn't really dived into deeply until around season 3 or 4 by a lot of us, because we started to hear that it wasn't that bad. We started to hear better things about Ahsoka, and the animation style started to improve. So as just kids and teenagers wanting to watch a good show that would keep us occupied during homework or to get our mind off of school, many of us didn't turn to the Clone Wars. But like almost everything in Star Wars, when it first comes out, everyone wants to dog on it, and then give it another 10 years, and it's the most loved thing in the entire community. The Clone Wars period, and the prequels in general, are my absolute favorite when it comes to straight up movie era. My favorite movie is Return of the Jedi, but again, my favorite era of movies is the prequels. Why? The obvious nostalgia button that hits my dopamine receptor like a hard hammer. So the Clone Wars rode on that, and after it dropped, we kind of gave it a year or so, and then we fell in love with it, and the characters blew up, and the story was able to continue, and it became something that we all think back on so fondly, and rewatch, definitely from time to time. I'll just throw on a few episodes of Clone Wars if I'm trying to clean, or if I need something to do real quick. It's the perfect background Star Wars for me. But that's what it's become in my eyes, and my opinion is background Star Wars. It's been done, guys. We've seen the clones, we've seen Order 66, we've seen clones take down Jedi, we've seen kids get killed. That's part of the things that worry me about this, are the people who are so attached to Order 66 that they feel it needs to be almost referenced anytime a Jedi's on screen. Honestly, my main nitpick here is the stuff with Grogu. That's what's really sparking a lot of this, and it sparked a lot of it all over the internet, I'm sure. We don't have to see Order 66 again from Grogu's perspective to know who saved him or how he got out. The first time had a bit more story behind it. With my same reasoning, it wasn't necessary. We did not have to go directly back to clones killing Jedi. I mean, even in the Obi-Wan series, the whole reason Reva was even a character or even a human being in this universe at this moment in time is her hate from Order 66. At the time, I loved that because it was at least a different freaking view. It was a youngling who was so angry she turned to the dark side in the midst of Order 66. Why did that not happen more? Shouldn't there be a lot more dark side users now because of stuff like that? But I've had more time to think about it, and it's still just Order 66. Reva could have explained all of this just through talking to Kenobi. We could have gotten every bit of information we needed without actually having to go back and see it. My main nostalgia, my main thing I loved about the Obi-Wan series going back to the Clone Wars period in time was just getting to see Hayden Christensen again. That's really it, guys. I love Hayden Christensen as an actor, and I'm happy to see him on screen. It was almost emotionally healing to get to see Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen get to be on the same set again and talk and share each other's space. It was beautiful. And they did it even better because it was a training scene between Obi-Wan and Anakin. Perfect! I don't mind the flashbacks in the Clone Wars as a period. I mind all the Order 66 flashbacks and the need to have Clone Wars and things. It's over. But all the people who clamor and beg and demand more Clone Wars, more shoot 'em up, bang bang, are also the same people who say, keep your politics out of my Star Wars. Which makes no sense why so many people in my age group hate politics in Star Wars when the prequel era is literally the most politically fueled and filled era in the entire Star Wars universe that we know of to date. Maybe aside from the Old Republic. But it was even worse because it wasn't just good versus evil like the Old Republic, where it's just Sith versus Jedi. Ba-ba-da-ba. This is a federation of independent star systems fighting against a republic democracy that they felt was flawing them. Literally every single reason anything happens in the prequels is political. I will never understand why people want to talk about how they don't like politics in Star Wars and then Anakin is their number one guy in the entire world. He's a political puppet. In the terms of Palpatine, Anakin is no better than the guy who shot Archduke Ferdinand. That's right. We're talking Earth politics, Star Wars politics. It lines up. There's so much politics in the prequels, and there are so much government reasons why things are happening. It's the whole reason the Jedi fall. Politics. And another thing, though, that the Obi-Wan series really did correctly was the vet clone trooper. We didn't have to see him kill any Jedi, even though he was 501st. We didn't have to see Obi-Wan kill any 501st. It was 100% just them looking at each other, the vet having no idea who Kenobi is, and Kenobi reliving these atrocities behind his eyes. That's all you need. That's why you have good actors. And then in the Bad Batch, as much as I love Caleb Doom, Kanan Jarrus, I have to say we didn't really need to see Depa Palaba die. It sets up some story within the Bad Batch, but they did not have to show Order 66 to have us understand that that is what is triggering Crosshair. To me, the Bad Batch is way more about personal bonds between Omega and these brothers, especially in season 2 as we're moving more and more away from it. I mean, was Crosshair even in the last 2 episodes? Nope, not needed. Of course, obviously we have the High Republic, which you know I was going to say that, guys. I love the High Republic, and I will totally fight to see it more into Star Wars media. We have things like The Mandalorian, Andor, all these amazing post-Order 66 shows that don't really need to show it that much. Now, I know Mando does, only because Grogu. And Grogu is probably only in there because it's a retention device. Grogu is a retention device to get us to know the story of Din Djarin. You heard me. I love Grogu. But he was just there so you all would attach to him and keep watching the series. Thank you. I'm happy there are more being made. And I don't know if it just has to be something that people need to see from time to time, or we're going to have riots in the community, which for whatever reason, cool. Then give them their own show. Just have the Order 66-a-thon, where it's just like, here's every random Jedi you guys have ever cared about and what really 100% all around them encompassed Order 66 and them dying. And I'd watch it. Of course I'd watch it. I'll watch anything Star Wars, but I just feel like it's becoming a easy way out. It's becoming a very quick tactic to gain retention or to bring people back into a show that's not doing as well as it could have been. Throw the Clone Wars at them, throw Order 66 at them. And the fact that it's a living meme all over the Star Wars community with Dave Filoni and Order 66 means it's noticed to the point where we think it's funnily not funny, ironically not ironic. I love Dave, and I know he's going to have a huge passion for Clone Wars and Order 66 because those were his babies, those were his timelines that he got to really help sculpt with George. But boy howdy, it's a big old galaxy, and we got a lot more things to do, everybody. So would you prefer for the upcoming media of Star Wars to be before the Clone Wars or after the Clone Wars? Far enough away where all the Order 66 Jedi or any survivors are just gone already. Let me know down below, and of course like and subscribe to the channel for more extremely weird takes. Thank you all for joining, and as always, may the Force serve you well.